you down. I think it's just a choice that's being made.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they've done for setups. Again, not as long as the NEMA light race of 50 laps, 29, right around the typical length of a feature event for these NEMA midgets. So they know what the setup needs to be to come out.
Well, you know, let's talk about a setup. Sun is going down. Practice was held in a much hotter, more humid. It's cooling off, and all of a sudden, everybody will tell you when the sun goes down, a racetrack changes. I think we're going to watch 29 laps in the Boston Louie Memorial, and basically, it's going to go from sundown to darkness. What does that do to your race car?
Well, we'll find out. We got a couple of the hot shoes starting right up front. In fact, the second row, two of the Bertrand cars there in the second row, Avery Stoehr on the inside and Randy Cabral on the outside. Avery Stoehr was the winner last year of this race. In fact, been in the top 5, 8 out of the last 9 Louis. 7 were podium finishes, 3 were wins. Those wins have all come in the last 4 races, including last year. And he's starting from third tonight.
And a fun fact, as I was talking to Avery back in the pit area before practice started earlier today, of course, Russ Stoehr won the first Boston Louie race here. And Avery said to me, the engine block in the car he's racing tonight is the same one that Russ won the 1997 first Boston Louie Memorial race here with.
Wow. We could see some history made tonight.
That is unbelievable, especially when you consider the advancements that have been made in midget engine technology.
He said, now, a lot of other things in the engine are different.
Thank
he
you,
said
yeah.
The engine block
Thank you, Mr. Obvious.
was the same
but the original
one.
block, yeah.
I mean, from 1997.
Mind-blowing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
Well, yeah, and of course, Randy Cabral, the multi-time champion of the NEMA Midgets, and Cabral himself has had wins in this race. In fact, Bertrand Motorsports, that makes up all of the second row, have won the Louis 9 times. Todd Bertrand, who we just saw runner-up in the NEMA Lights, won it in 2015. Twice with Doug Kobe in a Bertrand car, 3 times with Randy Cabral, and 3 times with Avery Stoehr. So we got a potent second row there.
And we talk about the Seymours and the legacy that they've created over generations. I think you've got to look at the Bertrands, and they're doing the same thing. And as I mentioned, they, along with the Seymours, are making New England racing known all the way out to the West Coast, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Anderson, Indiana. And it's fascinating, the relationship that the Bertrand family now has with the Swindell family.
Yeah, they've worked together even when it comes to the Chili Bowl. They've done things together for that.
Well, you see the cars being rolled out now. Of course, these NEMA midgets have to be pushed off to get going, but we're getting the cars on the speedway, and they'll get ready to go for their 29-lap sprint in the most prestigious of the NEMA midget races of the season, the Boston Louie Memorial tonight. Again, here at Seekonk Speedway, this race has been held here all but a few times in its history, and an appropriate spot for it, right? A place so synonymous with midget racing, and of course not far from the Seymour base of Marlborough, Massachusetts.
Well, yes, only the 3rd time this season that these NEMA midgets have run on the Northeastern Midget Association schedule. Randy Cabral was the winner, the opening race way back in April at the Claremont Speedway, and Paul Scally was the winner at the Waterford Speed Bowl back on Memorial Day weekend, winner of the Shane Hammond Memorial Race. So those two already have notched a win in 2024. We'll find out if we get yet a 3rd winner here tonight. I'll give you the starting lineup for the Boston Louie Memorial 29-lap main event. On the pole will be that dangerous one, Paul Scally from Raynham, Massachusetts. Paul in his Earth Movers number 30. Alongside of him will be the good-looking number 93. Sharp-looking race car from Mike Horn from Ashland, Mass. The A1 Automotive D&M CarQuest Marine Engines, number 93. Second row that we just talked about, Avery Stoehr in the 39, alongside the multi-time champion Randy Cabral from Kingston, Mass. in the number 74. 16 starts next. Another one of the veterans, Matt O'Brien from Wilmington, Massachusetts. The Jim O'Brien and Sons Engineering, number 16. Starting alongside the number 9, John Zych. Maybe his last start in a NEMA Midget as he is moving out of the area because of his job. his first start of 2024, a past champion of NEMA, and a strong runner in his qualifying heat tonight. He'll be one to watch in that number 9 from Mendon, Massachusetts, John Zych. The 87 is next. Talk about veterans. This is Doug Cleveland from Sudbury, Massachusetts. Doug going all the way back to the 1970s with NEMA and a win just a couple of years ago. He's out there in the Cleveland family racing number 87. Seth Carlson, multi-time winner on dirt, big star with the DMA Midgets up in Vermont, making his first start with the NEMA Midgets in the number 6. Seth Carlson from Ellington, Connecticut in the Seals It, number 6. 49 grids next. Dylan Rock from Enfield, Connecticut, the Repeat Motorsports, number 49. And the number 94 being driven by Richie Coy from Haskell, New Jersey, of the famous Coy racing family. Richie out there in the number 94. The A1, the veteran of veterans, if you will, the great driver out of Ashland, Massachusetts, Jeff Horn, another one that's been racing and winning on the dirt up in Vermont, and he's making an asphalt start tonight in his number A1.
And at age 78, I think he holds the distinction of the only driver in the field that fought in the Vietnam War and was awarded a Purple Heart.
I believe you are correct about that one. Jeff Horn in the A1, and Jack Dumas. Dumas, a regular runner and a very good runner in the Pro 4 ranks out here in the Mike Legel, yellow number 77. That'll be Jack Dumas. The starting lineup for tonight's Boston Louie Memorial 29-lap NEMA main event.
And it will go quick, folks.
So the signal as the field comes to the start-finish line is we're getting ready to go racing next time. 29 laps for the Boston Louie Memorial Honors and Glory tonight. On the front row in the 30, it's Paul Scally, the pole sitter, to lead the field down. Here they come, ready to get us going.
Green flag, and Scally, shot out of a cannon, leaps to the lead in the number 30, but quickly chased by Avery Stoehr.
Stoehr working the outside. He is hooked up. Can he get the drive off the corner? Scally maintains the lead, but here comes Stoehr. Pedal to the metal. He's about to take over the lead in the Boston Louie 29, and he does, but here comes Scally.
Avery Stoehr on the outside, Paul Scally on the inside. Stoehr will go to the race lead on the backstretch.
Avery gets that car through the corner. It sets it up perfectly coming out of the turn and just mashes the throttle. That's how he made the pass on Paul Scally and now starts to drive away from the rest of the field.
They're not clear by much, though. Here comes Randy Cabral in third in that bright neon red and blue 74. Cabral to third and closing, and the battle for fourth as Mike Horn has slid back from that front row starting spot.
Basically a 3-car breakaway because it's about 3 seconds between the leader and that fourth position. But the 3 up front, well, look who's closing. Scally trying to close the gap on Avery Stoehr out of turn number 2. He's narrowed it down, but look at the drive that Stoehr gets off these corners.
Yeah, that car is on rails right now. Here's that battle for fourth spot out of turn 4. Mike Horn in the 93 and John Zych all over the back of that car in the number 9, trying to find a way to pass.
And that 93 in fourth place, maybe the best example on the speedway now of that car lurching through the corners as he tries to keep his foot in it and keep the momentum up through the turn. Still hanging on to that fourth spot for now, but remember that car started on the front row and has lost a lot of ground.
Scally's gotten a little better here in the last couple of laps. He has closed the gap on Avery Stoehr. Now, whether that's Stoehr being conservative or Scally getting faster, we got a battle heating up for the lead.
Top 2 now begin to close on the tail end of the field as well, so lap traffic to come into play as the leaders cross the start-finish line, go to the outside of the Jake Dumas machine in 2.
And the big key now for Avery Stoehr is using the traffic and where to pass it to his advantage.
Scally stays right with him in the tire tracks of that number 39. Stoehr with a little bit of an advantage that time, and trouble for the 6 of Seth Carlson. He retires to the pit area. He's out early.
Front 2 dispatch with the first back marker, Richie Coy, and now they've got a little breathing room. But look at Scally is constantly able to draw up closer to your leader, Avery Stoehr, but then Stoehr has to drive off the corner. We're already at the halfway mark.
Here come the leaders to the cross flags. We're halfway home in the Boston Louie Memorial. It's Avery Stoehr trying to win another one here in this prestigious race. He's got about 6-7 car lengths on Paul Scally, and then the charging Randy Cabral trying to close in on the front two.
Randy not closing that gap, I'm sure, as quickly as he would like. It's definitely go time for these guys since they've seen the cross flags. But Avery Stoehr continues to pour it on, trying to win his third in a row.
You remember about 6 laps ago we speculated, was it that Avery had backed off a little bit, drove a little more conservatively, or had Scally picked up the speed? I think it actually was a little bit of Stoehr backing off and trying to save his equipment.
Well, yeah, you talked earlier about the tire usage here and the fact that they really lean on those right rears. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of blistered ones by the end of this race, and I'm sure that's in the back of Avery's mind.
Here's Avery now. Avery Stoehr working carefully on the A1 of Jeff Horn. He'll look to the outside, and that momentary hesitation allows Scally to close in and get right back up to the leader as he works the traffic.
Look at Jeff Horn battling back.
He does not want to go a lap down. And that allows Scally to get right there, but the lane is blocked by Horn, and Scally has to back out of it.
So now how quickly can Scally deal with the traffic to stay in contact with the leader? As another car off the pace in turn number 2, that's going to be the 94 Richie Coy trying to get to the infield. He doesn't quite make it all the way to a safe spot off the racing surface, and that'll bring out the caution for the first time.
Yellow flag is out with 23 laps complete. We'll have a short sprint to the finish. Richie Coy in the number 94.
7 laps to go in the race.
One of the tricks of the trade, guys. See how wide Stoehr brings the front row out of turn number 4, because you can dictate just how wide you want to go.
Well, Scally will not be bullied, we'll tell you that.
Well, he's the earth mover.
And here they come. Green flag.
And Cabral already showed his hand going to the inside to no avail, but now all of a sudden he's getting it wound up. But on the break, Avery Stoehr has it high, wide, and handsome.
Look at Zych on the outside in the 9 car. He got around Cabral for third, trying to work on Scally for second while the leader gets away.
5 laps to go this time. Wow, look at John Zych dirt trap that thing through 3 and 4. Gathers it back up and loses some ground to Scally.
Well, he just sent it all the way in and beyond and lost a little bit of the grip, but now he's gathering it back up. But you can see he's slideways coming out of the corners.
All that going on for second, third, and fourth, while Avery Stoehr continues his mastery of the Cement Palace at Seekonk Speedway as he's across the stripe and headed down the back straightaway, coming to 2 laps to go.
2 to go this time. There is Avery Stoehr across the stripe, almost a straightaway on that 30 of Paul Scally. Then go back another 7 car lengths to John Zych. Zych over Randy Cabral. And Matt O'Brien, less than a lap to go.
White flag is out. 2 final corners for Avery Stoehr. It'll be 4 out of the last 5 Boston Louie Memorial races for Avery Stoehr and Bertrand Motorsports.
Yeah, Avery Stoehr wins again, his 3rd in a row in the Bertrand Motorsports number 39. He is an excited individual as Avery Stoehr gets it done. Paul Scally settles for 2nd. John Zych with a great run. Comes his dad. Put together an unbelievable race car every time they come out. He's a multi-time champion and a multi-time winner, and he comes home with a podium finish here tonight in that number 9. Good way to end it if, in fact, it's his last ride.
It's a drop the mic opportunity.
That's right.
But someone that doesn't intend to drop the mic anytime soon comes home victorious for Bertrand Motorsports. How about a performance, a round of applause for Avery Stoehr, and let's go to Alan Bestwick trackside.
I think it's been 42 years by my count since I've interviewed a driver trackside here at Seekonk Speedway, but it will be a pleasure to interview the winner of the Boston Louie Memorial again this year, Avery Stoehr. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. I love coming to this race every year. This track's been good to me the last few years. Thanks for Seekonk Speedway for having us. All the fans for coming out. Tim Bertrand for giving me a great car. My dad, Barry Cannon. My girlfriend, Kayla, for dealing with my kid who's trying to be louder than me right now without a microphone. Just everybody that plays a part in this. I really love coming here every year. Thank you.
3 in a row in this race, 4 of the last 5. Is there something about this track and your style, motivation for this race? What is it, the magic here in this race for you?
I grew up 15 minutes away from here. One of my earliest memories is coming here, and my dad won the race with this engine that we won here with today, and I remember running up to victory lane. It's a real big part of my life coming here, and I'm glad I can hold the checker flag a few times.
So you told me this story earlier today, and I started to tell it, and there might have been some people that didn't quite believe I had my facts straight. Your dad won the first running of the Boston Louie in 1997, and you said with this engine block?
Yeah, that's it's the same engine block from then. He bought it brand new in 1990, and we still got the shipping container up above his house, and it's a good piece, to say the least.
I would say so. The trophy's here. Congratulations, Avery Stoehr, winner of the Boston Louie Memorial again tonight here at Seekonk. All right, Dangerous. Paul Scally, runner-up finish tonight. Paul, you fought the hard fight all the way through. Maybe you thought when that restart came late you had one more shot?
Yeah, on open track, he was really good. When he got into traffic, I was better. So I was kind of hoping we stayed under green because I got right next to him at one point, but that's racing. That's why we do it. Hats off to him. He was really fast. We were close. We'll get it next time.
So running almost caution-free tonight in both races for you.
Yep.
What was the night like for you?
I had a great night. Like, I finished 5th. I finished 2nd. What more can I ask for coming here, racing at my favorite track in front of the biggest crowds we get, right? So I had a blast. I want to thank everybody for allowing me to have such a fun time.
You got people that help you out you need to thank?
Yep. First and foremost, my dad, my wife Rachel, her brother Eddie and Jessica, my son Paul, and of course, our radio show, Miles on Motorsports, Wednesday night, 7 to 8, 95.9 WATD. The whole crew's here, so say hi to these guys, because, we have a racing show every week we want you guys listening to.
Congratulations on a great night.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure to be here. Paul Scally, our runner-up tonight. And let's talk with the man who made the move of the race after that last restart. For a minute, we were John Zych here with us. For a minute, I thought you figured you were on a dirt track the way you had that thing hung out in turn 4. What was that like?
Yeah, I wasn't even trying to do that. We blistered 3 tires today. I was trying to tighten the car up for the feature, and it probably lasted longer than it would have, but just didn't have enough. I was trying to get a run on Paul at the end of the race, but I really had like 1 or 2 shots, and then I knew the tire was cooked, and that's what happened. So happy with the 3rd. This is our first and probably only race this year after doing it a lot of years. So we'll be happy with the 3rd, and it's awesome to be here at Seekonk. This is such a great event. Appreciate all the fans coming. Appreciate you being here as well.
It's my pleasure, believe me. People you need to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank my family, thank my dad for all the work that he does on this car. The Seymours are a huge help for us too. So yeah, just some of the people that help us get here. John Andrew from Circle Performance has done an awesome job for us. It's a Drynan chassis from I think 1999, and it's still working for us. So
Congratulations on a great run. John Zych Jr., 3rd place tonight here in the Boston Louie Memorial.